What's up, y'all? Shook here, back with another video on the Holy Paladin, doing some 2v2 with Plum on his Deathknight. These matches are from week 3 of the War Within Season 1. This is the gear that I'm rocking. I finally decided to go and get my bloody token pieces. I didn't have those for the matches, but I had all the other pieces. I am running the double energy redistribution beacon. Had my weapons, so I'm actually pretty geared. 635 PvP item level. This is the build that I am running. It's the same that I've been running. Like I said, haven't really changed anything about it. Searing Glare, I've been running mainly in 2s, and improved blessing and protection. Sometimes I will spec out of that if it's a caster or something like that. That's about all I have to say for the gear and the build. Let's get into the games. So this first matchup is a mirror matchup, and this was actually the second time that we fought these guys. The first time I forgot to hit the record button, and I was really sad about it because the first match was actually insane. It went into super heavy dampening, and there was like a cross kill and all kinds of crazy stuff, and I realized I forgot to hit the record button, but we fought them again. We had a much better game plan the second time that we fought them, and it ends up working out much better than the first one. I'm going to go ahead and trinket string here, and what I really want to do is try not to overuse cooldowns. You can see we're getting a lot of pressure up here. He's going to swap to me. I'm just kind of trying to cast Searing Glare on him. He dodged it, and we're moving around. I want to kind of stay in Plum's line for part of this, and then I'm going to run away whenever I have to, cast Tears Deliverance, or when Plum can like grip away like that. The Pally's trying to juke Repentance there, so I'm actually running blind. He's running Repentance, but Plum's going to, for the most part, be just on this Pally. This DK is going to be, for the most part, on me. He does go ahead and grip me there. I'm going to hodge the Pally before I kind of jump off. And this DK, the first time we fought, he didn't fall for a single juke. He played really, really well, so I kind of knew what to expect the second time. Right there, I thought the Pally was going to run the other way. Unfortunately, I did blind him, and he got out of it, so it was kind of a bummer. Right here, I'm going to run away like I was talking about. Cast Tears Deliverance. Super important that I get this off and not have to burn too many cooldowns. They are continuing to hit Plum, so right now we have the distinct advantage. I'm going to hodge the Pally. It looks like we did get his trinket right there. Going to cast my Divine Protection right before the Strangulate. Again, super, super important because I don't have Trinket for the Strangulate, and I don't want to have to burn Bubble right there, but he may still get it anyway. Oh, looks like they get the Hodge, so they are going to get it anyway. So kind of unfortunate. That's the cooldown overlap that I didn't want to happen, but we are still ahead overall, like ahead on mana. He still has his bubble, but we have both blessings of protection, and for the most part I'm only going to try and use those on me. Just casting Searing Glare there because I got a precog proc. I'm going to give Plum freedom so he can just kind of chase after this Pally. That is their AMZ, so that we don't really want to stand in it. I'm going to run over here and just get out of LOS of this DK, use a couple of those infusion procs, and just kind of run away from him. So we're just going to kind of dance around. He's on his horse, I'm on my horse. He's using Wraith Walk, and I'm just going to sit here and LOS him while Plum hits the Pally, because that Pally can't really get away from Plum the way I just got away from the DK. You can see he's trying to cast Tears Deliverance over here, so I'm going to run the other way and go for the Hodge. He doesn't have Trinket available. It's 4 seconds. The DK does Strangulate me. I actually don't have my Tears Deliverance rolling now, so I'm going to pop Wings, pick Plum back up. The DK is going to swap to me. I'm going to cast the Blessing of Summer on myself, so now all of my healing is going to be doing a little bit more damage. So you can see this DK he's going to have to start healing here in a second because I'm actually going to be doing decent damage to him. He's going to pop AMS, and I'm just trying to make him LOS the Pally a little bit more. Going to run over here, use the Hodge. It looks like it must have been super DR'd, so I guess it was still DR'd from the previous one, so that's really unfortunate. I don't have a DR tracker going on for these, but it can be really useful. Burn my Trinket there on Strangulate. It's kind of what I always want to use it on. And we have our AMZ going. The Paladin uses Blessing Protection on their DK, and he's trying to Wraith Walk. He knows that this is like the pressure moment. I juke him there, which is super crucial. If he was to interrupt me, it would kind of be curtains. So that was kind of huge. Use my Divine Toll to get those procs. I'm going to hodge him up here. He has no way out of this hodge. I can blind him off if I really want to, but I see the Paladin going down, so I was trying to run over there and hit hammer. So not nearly as close as the first round, but still a tough match. Like I said, these are good players. It's a tough mirror match. And I don't know if you've seen the threes video that I just posted, but there are some crazy matches in that threes video, and if you haven't checked it out, I would highly recommend. That's probably one of my favorite videos that I have ever posted, just the way some of those matches end. I think it's really cool. But this next matchup is Fury Warrior Disc Priest, and I'm going to play hyper aggressive because this is kind of a counter comp to us. The Priest domes in the opener, which can be good since Plum popped his cooldowns. I'm kind of just playing a little bit passive until we have some pressure, and then I'm going to be running in, and I don't really want him to be getting double fears, but I also want to stay on top of them to try and get kicks and use Crusader Strike and stuff like that. So right here I'm going to hodge the Priest, trying to just do a little bit of damage. We really just want to get through all of the Priest cooldowns. You can see the Fury Warriors kind of doing the correct thing in hitting Plum. I use a Blessing Protection there. That's probably a little bit too aggressive and hyper aggro, but it can get purged off really easily, so you're not going to get a ton of value in it regardless. Like if the Priest knows what he's doing, sometimes they'll even be like pre-purging, and you just won't get any value out of it other than getting off the stacks of the Slaughterhouse or whatever it's called. Right here, Plum does get the double blind. You can see we're way behind on mana, so I am going to go ahead and drink just because I want to make sure we're a little bit more even on mana. I go ahead and use Blessing of Sacrifice, so I could let the Priest fear me here, but I'm just kind of moving away from him. I am going to cast Tears Deliverance. Plum does interrupt the Priest. It may not seem like it, but we have a decent amount of pressure. Like, they still have a Pain Sup available. But as soon as Plum's cooldowns come up, I think we're going to get basically the rest of their cooldowns. And you can see him kind of trying to kite the warrior a little bit while simultaneously hitting the Priest. I'm going to go ahead and hodge the Priest there. You can see Plum start to pop some cooldowns, and we do get the other pain suppression there. There's the Strangulate does come out. You can see the warrior just kind of getting chunked by Plum's spread damage. I do get feared here, and it looks like it's going to fear me into the eyeball, so I'm taking increased damage. I'm not sure if they noticed that. I do go ahead and use my second Blessing of Protection, so we have no more Blessing of Protection, but again, we are kind of like super aggro at this point. And like I said, this is kind of a counter comp. Searing Glare caused him to miss his Stormbolt, which is really good for us. It looks like he used Shout, so that's going to fade here in just a second. I'm going to hodge the Priest. You can see Plum kind of just kiting around, trying to make it difficult for the warrior to hit him. And I am going to pop Wings. Again, just playing super aggro, kind of on top of them, tossing hammers. Plum's going to go ahead and interrupt right there. And then he's going to go ahead and Strangulate. I'm going to run in, hit him a little bit. I'm actually casting Holy Shock offensively there. And it looks like Plum's going to get Stormbolted. He's trying to spin on me. I'm going to run over here because I don't want him peeling his Priest. Looks like their Pain Suppression did come back up. I go ahead and hodge, and we just have like all the momentum. It looks like the warrior is popping the wreck here, but we're still completely okay. I'm going to cast Tears Deliverance. He's going to blind. I'm going to run up here, cast Searing Glare, and if the Priest chooses to dispel his warrior, he's going to be in big trouble, which it looks like he did and got away with it. So kind of he's just in a tough spot. He's going to get strangulated, and you can see it's just like slow whittling down, and we actually get like the double kill there. So normally that's a counter comp, but you know, that one went pretty well. This next comp is against a Marksman Hunter and a Preservation Evoker, so we're going to do the same strategy that we were doing in threes, where Plum gives me the anti-magic shell to try and stop traps and stuff like that. So you saw him do that on that first trap. We do get the Hunter's Roar of Sacrifice. We're mainly going to be hitting the Hunter. Plum does interrupt the Fire Breath right there. I'm going to try and kick the next one. I do go ahead and kick it. And Plum is just kind of running this Hunter down. He does have his cooldowns rolling, so kind of have to be a little bit careful. They do quite a bit of damage. and I'm kind of just trying to play within range to where I get the heals on him. I could have kicked that sleepwalk, so that was kind of unfortunate. They overlapped, so I'm going to burn my trinket right there. He has sleepwalk back up, and I go ahead and kick that one. I do have Hodge available, but he has that nullifying shroud going. You can see the big debuff on him right there. Plum's trying to get a little bit of spread damage. I'm going to try and cast Searing Glare. It looks like he disengaged, but it's still... Oh no, it must have missed him. It still hit the Preservation Evoker though. Searing Glare can actually be pretty good against like Preservation Evokers, just because, you know, sometimes they randomly throw in out Living Flames and Fire Breath and stuff like that. I am going to cast Tears Deliverance. You can see Plum use the AMS to stop me from getting stun trapped there. Just trying to disrupt everything. It looks like they trapped his pet. He is going to get the stun on me, probably into the sleepwalk. Oh no, he doesn't go for it. Oh yeah, he does. So actually it's the Oppressive Roar version, so the really long one. Sometimes that's what I want to hold Trinket for, but it didn't matter in this scenario. I also can dispel that Oppressive Roar. I guess I didn't notice that it was on me. Looks like Plum is getting big damage onto the Hunter. He got stunned. I'm trying to blind that guy's trinket and just do damage to him. We do get the time dilation there, and you can see Plum's health kind of get chunked. I'm going to use a Blessing or Protection, since right now he's CC'd, so they don't have a way to take it off other than Trank Shot or the Fire Breath if he's running the talent. I'm trying to get the Healing Absorb taken off me. I had built up a big one. Probably going to pop wings here soon when I see a little bit more cooldowns from the Hunter. Unfortunately, I didn't notice Nullifying Shroud there, and I did Hodge into it. I was more focused on trying to dodge the Sleepwalk. I do have Sack available, so if I can sack a trap, but he's probably going to go for it on the fly here in a second. So Plum does get the double blind, so I probably want to go ahead and sack him here or cast Searing Glare. I do decide to go with Searing Glare, which, you know, again, can be okay. Gonna cast Tears here, and he's gonna interrupt me. The dragon, I also didn't realize that the dragon can cast his interrupt while he's interrupted. So he did get his kick on me. Finally gonna get Tears Deliverance off here. Have Freedom up on Plum. We still have a Blessing or Protection available. We still have my bubble available. This one, the longer it goes into dampening, the worse of a chance we have at winning against marksmen. I don't know what it is, but it seems like on every character, if they can make it into just like the heavy dampening, they just seem to win. But normally we can kill them before then. It's just I don't know what it is about hunters. Especially seems more like BM than marksman. I'm going to kick this Nullifying Shroud here. He's casting Wailing Arrow, Rapid Fire. I'm going to go ahead and use Blessing of Protection, so you can see that True Shot aura buff on him. He's going to swap to me and hit me. Plum does use AMS on me, thinking he was going to go for the trap. I'm going to run in and try and cast Searing Glare. He kicks over the top of the trap, so that's really good. Right here, I'm going to cast Searing Glare again, but I do get Slep on it, so that's kind of unfortunate. Just kind of starting to play a little bit aggro again, kind of like I was against the Priest, just kind of standing in on top of them, making it awkward for them. Plum is kind of getting into a bad position because I'm running a little bit low on cooldowns. We are almost even on mana. You're going to see me Hodge the Hunter. That was a really bad Hodge because not only was he DR'd, the Nullifying Shroud was going to wear off in like 3 seconds. So terrible Hodge. Definitely should have been more patient with that one. It could have been really impactful to use on the dragon. So not good at all. I was trying to juke the Hunter there, and I'm just playing in on top of him. I do sack to sleep. Have wings up in a few seconds, and I went ahead and bubbled there because I was scared of the stun. I'm gonna go ahead and pop wings, and I should be able to pick Plum up, but this is going to be kind of our last hurrah. And you can see that the Preservation Evoker is also starting to play a lot more aggro. He's starting to do a lot more damage. We do get Turtle here. I'm running over here. I'm casting Searing Glare on the dragon, which doesn't really do all that much other than, you know, it'll make him miss like his Living Flames if he's in Fire Breath if he's playing offensive. He uses obsidian scales, so he won't be the kill target, but now it gets sketchy because I don't have any way to get out of this trap, but it looks like we are so far into dampening that the dragon just really can't pick up the hunter. We're using stuns on the hunter at this point. I'm running in, casting Crusader Strike, and we do take him down. So kind of some crazy games, especially that first one. The mirror match was really fun. Hope you guys enjoyed these. If you are new here, be sure to subscribe, drop a like, helps me out a ton, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.